Adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Simply put, Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you. Service in Holy Rosa is in Benin. We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. At all times, culture is a practice. It is sustained because people continue to actualize it.
But this was not to be until the gods took the right.
Again, at all times, culture is a variety. Its boundaries can be very extensive, perhaps as extensive as the entirety of what humanity do to develop relationships and find livelihoods. It is apt to say as well that culture is supremely resilient. No matter what happens to the world, it does not impede the position and growth of it. In fact, events of the world are mostly the storylines of cultural evolution. Sometimes it is good to know that there is no one cultural practice without the story of originality. My premise was informed by several contacts with the Nigerian cultural practices. I hung around them at several fora as either a casual observer or as a reporter. Largely, Nigeria has realistic endowments in culture, rich, original and engaging. In fact, it has such styles and perspectives that the world has never seen anything like it. A mere snippet can hypnotize it, and truly, it has been hypnotizing it. There are today a group of concerned citizens who want greater exploitation of Nigeria's cultural richness to further unite the country and project it to the world in objective reality as honest, civilized and culturally supreme nation. They want also a system to be evolved that will allow Nigeria benefit from its cultural richness. Foremost among these advocates is the Oba of Benin, Oba Iwari II.
Culture and sports are intertwined. They are intertwined in the building of national unity. Culture also helps to project the country to the outside world, helps to project the country to the international community. Personally, I used our culture a lot to project our country wherever I served during my diplomatic sojourn. Virtually, I was always almost like this all the time, as you see. When I'm going to the office, going to any event, as soon as I step out, there was no mistaking the Nigerian ambassador. They will say, that is Nigerian ambassador coming.
It happened that most cultural practices in Nigeria are events-driven. To the credit of the National Festival of Arts and Culture NAFEST, it remained the main vehicle that brings Nigeria together to a get-together of cultural exhibitions on annual basis. It allows us reasonable glimpses of Nigerian cultural diversity, a set agenda for the promotion of Nigerian culture and enhancement of what can make Nigeria great.
I think we need to give culture the pride of place that culture really deserves. If you look at it, our textile industries, if you look at the exhibition generally, you will agree with me that the Nigerian culture has so much to offer. But because of negligence over the years, over time, we are still where we are. We are going home to start to preach that gospel of developing, concentrating on the cultural industry for the purpose of its development and creating employment opportunity for a teeming population.
So apart from where we need an opportunity to employ people and other things like
Yes.
that, what part of the culture do you think we need to look at and improve immediately?
The culture of love, the culture of unity, we need to work on it very critically. Because if you look at it, all of us here are from across Nigeria. But you can see the warmth that culture is generating. You can see the oneness. You can see everybody embracing one another. There has not been fight. I am telling you, there has not been fight. There has not been anybody insulting one another. So we need to concentrate on this aspect. It should be our launching pad.
Yes, there are multiple other festivals that come with the Salah or Christmas periods, end of harvest, remembrances or landmarks, but they are often limited to communities and environments. Yet, their messages can be powerfully global. I reflect on some of my experiences with some Nigeria's cultural displays. One obvious fact is that they always carry a message. I believe every community do have its styles of music and dance, distinctive to set it apart from other cultures. I take a liking in particular of this musical group. It was during a national festival in Port Harcourt. The musical instruments here are so different and traditional to the community who use them, and they have a unique appeal about them, perhaps because of the engagement and the energy of the people who play them. It is a kind of mobile xylophone with the support of small drums. The dance to the tune is patently Nigerian. Within context is yet another unique musical instrument and unique styles of dance. The beautiful things about culture is it leaves nobody out. The old and the young are bonded in culture. It is true. Across the country, every community evolves its style of dance and music that is cognate to the history of its development. They are always different. They are always beautiful to watch. The emphasis here is on indigenous musical instruments and dance, not filtered by borrowing. the traditional music and dance is usually cast a drama to show special talent of some group members. It can be exceptional skills in handling musical instruments or in dancing, or in the case with this troupe from perhaps Enugu, amazing flexibility of the body parts. The major character in this musical drama arrived the stage in a backhoe bag, performs and return upstage in a bag. Nigerian culture can also manifest itself in a non-speaking role, but stridently eloquent all the same. When it comes to reflection of African history in an art form, the people of Benin, or Edo State generally, stand in a world apart. This is an exhibition capturing routine life of ordinary people in a traditional setting in Nigeria. How it was captured in an art form is such amazing and awesome. My fascination with this work is the finishing and the idea that inspired them. They look so credible and pleasing to the eye. Clearly, Nigeria is never short of talent that will etch its name in global map in art and bronze works. The issue, however, is not many Nigerians give value to such works and move to promote them or even draw investments to them. But these are unique treasures to have not only for their aesthetics but also for their messaging. The world over, people pride themselves in their indigenous wares and local manufacturing of such wares. Yes, in Nigeria there is an existing national policy on traditional dress and the patronizing of local textile industries. Yet the people struggle to adapt to this policy. In a special night in Port Harcourt, some 6 states give insight of the immense possibilities of local fabric. The fabrics are translated to dress codes for every occasion, including casual, formal, bridal, ceremonial, and in fact dress as occasions dictate. Naturally, the dress form reflects the culture and tradition of people who use them. It was a long night, but a beautiful one. Kaduna State opened the show. Bayelsa is majorly riverine. Their dress sense usually reflects their long history of contact through the Atlantic, but their performance with the local fabric was deeply rooted in their traditional evolution. There were presentations by Enugu, Delta, Kano, and River State too. In all, the message is simple. If only Nigerians can respect the national policy and embrace local fabric, with the population the country is blessed with, local industries will rise, employment will be generated, import of textile materials will reduce, and Nigeria will have a window to promote not only their local fabric, but their traditional wares as well. and it can happen. One leading light for the crusade in the promotion of local public is, of course, the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Shego Runshawe. Runshawe is golf mad, and wherever the National Festival of Arts and Culture is being held, Runshawe finds a space for golf. But golf in Nigeria, in the disposition of Runshawe, should be played in a local fabric. In Port Harcourt, Benin and Jos, Runshawe mobilized policymakers to golf courses in Ankara. The golf courses turn a hybrid of Ankara-wearing golfers and caddies. You never know. Sometimes, maybe Nigeria's version of Tiger Woods may appear in majors in Ankara. Culture emanates from the local environment. The rural areas of the north are not only idyllic, they are also breeding grounds for livestock. Perhaps because of the availability of fodder, and maybe because of the long history of trans-Saharan contacts through trade and scholarship. But the north developed a rich horse culture. It is an ideal companionship that benefits all. It is not in every household, but it plays an important role in trade, communication, transportation, ceremonies, wars and sports for all the centuries of its association with the North. With the Nigerian contact with the white men, horses were in particular assumed in races and in polo. I just often wonder what makes horses so versatile and resilient. I have experiences where horses run races. It happens, however, horse racing as a cultural activity and as a tool for unity of the country has not been so prolific, although there are ongoing efforts to revive it.
Actually, you know, horse racing is an old event. It's a historic. Simple arithmetic is 2,000 meters. Sardona of Sokoto was the first person, under the advice of Queen Elizabeth, who advised him to come and they use horse racing as a unifying factor in the north. So he used it. That is why we have Northern Temple of Authority. In 1960, Samadu Bello Sardona used it for the north, city in the north, for the unity. So if you see today, now, under SNV, with the President General for Federation of Top Club, he is taking it nationwide. Not only north, now it is all over Nigeria.
As the top federation of Nigeria, what we are trying to promote, first and foremost, is to have made in Nigerian horses. Because the horses that we have been using in Nigeria over the years are actually imported horses from Sudan and other sub-Saharan Africas, African countries, because that is where you find hybrid of horses. So we are trying to breed Niger horses that we can take out for any international race, you know, in the world and say, this is made in Nigeria.
So what are you looking at then? What are you looking at to develop these horses? What are indexes we want to develop in Nigeria?
Well, we are determined to breed the Nigerian horses, made in Nigerian horses. And we have started. We have made in Nigerian horses that are already 2 years. So we are going forward.
The beautiful thing about these activities is that other cultural activities trail them. This next charmer was displayed in a horse racing tournament in Bida, Niger State. The culture of polo is still much alive in most parts of the north. Although ordinary people play the game and maintain the horses, Owning the horses always requires strong capital base, and it's not for ordinary people. This is in particular a polo get-together in Argungu, Kebbi State. The attendants include the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Saad Abubakar. Over 10 polo clubs nationwide were participating. Because of the national nature of the participation, some traditional sports feature prominently, among them wrestling. Traditional wrestling is a very popular and accepted sport in the north. It can be a prize fight, and in fact, the wrestlers play to win prizes, money, laurels, and fame. Wrestlers move around townships to compete, especially after harvest, when the crops are home, and when the next rainy season is far away. It involves all categories of adults, youth, and heavyweights like these ones.
Wannan wasa ta manya wasa ce ta sai wanda ya shirya da gani ka san masu ƙarfi ne sannan kuma wannan wasa ba ta wasa bace so riga sun saba sun san juna kawai ta nan amma ina Murtala ya kubu sai ya bankara kuma ya dawo sai ya bankara da Ibrahim Adamu Zaginawa ya dawo shi kuma Ibrahim Adamu Zaginawa shi na kokarin shi cewa ya kama Murtala ya kubu wannan wasa ne ga tana har yanzu an taka an gama jiki ba wanda ya gaya har an je an yi hutu an dawo.
Boxing competition featured prominently too. The spirit that inspires wrestling culture in the north does so for traditional boxing too, Dembe. Only that in boxing, the spirit is more with the youth, who have sheer power, resolve, and athleticism. It can be raw too, and fierce and furious. The north is also the home of camels, thanks to its proximity to the Hara Desert. It is a companion in the farm, in the travels of the people, in trade, and especially across the desert. It is used as meat too, and as a source of milk and cheese. Being fully integrated into the culture of the people, it is used in races as well. It raced during the polo tournament in Argungu. By the time the polo tournament was winding up in Argungu, there was time enough for bullfighting and for the day of the matadors. It is actually a tradition ancient in the north and popular with the art of butchery as an occupational group. Vibrant youths work to tame a cow in full strength by climbing between its horns. It can be a risky endeavor, but it is a common practice. The story of it is that culture is so dynamic and replete with the possibilities that giving it closer attention can be a pathway to the greatness of the people and their land, and Nigeria has all that possibilities.